Welcome back to the Get to Know Me show. Welcome back to the Get to Know Me show. Today is my pleasure to introduce you to a sister and a friend, Isimbi. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So tell us a little bit about you. Who is Isimbi for someone who doesn't know you?
Simbi's a mystery, but so far as what I've gathered to know, I guess, about myself, my name is Isimbi, Natasha, or Elise Umwali, whichever it is you want to call me. You can just call me Isimbi, that'll be fine. I graduated last year in health and exercise science, sports medicine, and then I minored in biochemistry. Yeah, I did. I went to Colorado State University for my undergrad, so.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to everybody who goes to Colorado University. Yeah.
Go Rams!
So today, thank you for coming, and today we're going to be talking about mental health. So what is mental health, and why do you think people should care about mental health?
That is a really nice question. So when I graduated, obviously I wanted to work in the field that relates to either biochemistry or like sports medicine, anything of that sort, But I think in August, that is when I moved to Houston, and I started working in this mental health field. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. It was part of like counseling and dealing with people with like mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, or just really kind of mentally retarded with all people. So with all that kind of the spectrum, everyone was in there. Yeah. I wasn't sure that I'm capable of doing that, but I started working in there just to kind of give it a try.
Yeah.
So when I started doing that, I actually realized that how important your mental health really is. And I started questioning my own beliefs. That is when you cut off like curses of like generation curses and all the things that you believed when you were younger. It starts to kind of make sense that maybe your life could have been a little bit different if you had believed like a different thing, if you had started to question your beliefs, and it actually eases up your health. For example, I think like some people carry around generational curses or generation burdens because my mom never really did this or whatever. They carry that burden to themselves so that they don't really fully live their own life. So they're living in the past's life, they're living in the parents' life, they're living everybody else's life but themselves, and that is not okay. And that's where you kind of find where your mental health really is. Because like when you can ask someone a simple question, who do you want to be? And that is a huge question, but not a lot of people can answer that because they want to be what their parents want them to be. They want to be what the society wants them to be. They want to be because of the peer pressure.
Yeah.
Because you went to college, you have to do something huge. Because you did this, because you're coming from a rich family, you must do a rich things. You can't really be your true self. Like when you just say, who do you really want to be? I want to be a dancer, but I can't be a dancer because my family's gonna look up onto me like a failure. I can't be an artist so you start doing what you really wanted to do as a hobby, as like a small thing, and then you kill yourself because you want somebody else to be proud of you. But at the end of the day, we all have our own graves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good.
And that grave is not gonna be written as like my mom's name. That grave is going to be written as Isimbi's grave. That means that is your life. Choose your life. Live your life. And that is where mental health really checks in. And you need to dig deeper into that mental health.
Wow, that's great. Like you mentioned like a lot of really good points. And I just want to take it back a little bit.
Sure.
Can you talk to us about like some different like generational curses or burdens that people, you know, carry? Maybe somebody watching may be carrying some generational like hobbies and curses, and they don't know, you know, that they're like carrying them. So can you like talk to us about that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple of like examples. For example, let's say your dad was an athlete. You are expected to be in an athlete, you have to be an athlete, you know, and your parents really push you to be an athlete. You've got to be a football, you have to play football because your dad played football. You have to play, I don't know, in the NBA or whatever, you have to play basketball because your parents played basketball, you know, and that you go into that and you're like, wow, I don't really actually play basketball,
really
but how do you
this.
go when you've grown all the way to like until 18 years old and you realize you really don't want to play basketball? You're just playing it to please your dad, to please your family, when you just want to be, I don't know, a dancer or something. Or like another generation curse, you were born poor. So the methods that were used to raise you was in a survival mode.
Oh yeah.
They were just like your parents were raising you to survive because they didn't have the means to give you the better life that they could because they were poor. So you were in the survival mode. You have a survival mode. You are growing up just only to survive. That is only what you know. That is what you know. You are not living to live, you are living to survive. And that is another curse because you don't really know how to break it. How do you break that? How do you're just making, you're making just a paycheck to paycheck, and that's okay. You think that's okay to live paycheck by paycheck because you are surviving. You're not fully living, you are surviving. You know, or mentally wise, when we talk about mentally, how you were raised, the beliefs that you were raised to believe, and later on you figure out actually those beliefs are really, they don't mean anything for you. You're like, some of the beliefs are so patriarchal, like why must a man be held at such a king level and a woman be at such a slave level? Why must a woman cook for the husband? What did the husband do so special that he must be, oh, you know, come and wash my feet? And so with all that, if you have to think about it more often, why must you give another person power over your life? We all have a life, you know? That power, give it to yourself. And then it changes, but those are curses that you believe in, everyone believes in it, that men are superior than women, or this and this is superior than that, just because you can look at someone and you just completely give them power over your life. Because why? That kind of the same generation curses, generation beliefs that you were just to believe that you never really questioned. You're like, well, yeah, once you start questioning that, everything that you believe, that is where your mental health starts to come in.
Wow, that's good. Yeah. Well, thank you for that actually. But like, I feel like so many people, they're so afraid to question their beliefs, you know. They're like afraid to believe differently.
Correct.
You know. So what do you do? How do you help those people? They know there is something greater, you know, they want to embrace the truest selves.
True.
But they're so afraid to do so. What can you tell those people? How can you help them? What is the starting point for that kind of person watching right now?
That is great. I don't think, in my own belief, I want to help you only if you want me to help you. And some people truly believe that they don't need any help, that they are in a worse situation. Well, my mom was there. My grandma was there. This is how we live. That's good. And you can't, how am I going to convince you that you are bigger than this? You are able, you are capable of bigger things when truthfully, none of it you've never seen in your family.
Oh, yes.
How do you act? How do you be the change in your family? How are you the one to only break that in your family? And so I don't really help you per se, but I feel like I tell you that there is fear. There's one thing I always tell my little sister: do it. Just do it. What happens? The worst that can be, apply for that job. The worst that they're gonna tell you is no. You apply for another job, you know? Do it. But there is a fear that is like keeping you back. You're not really, I'm not capable. I'm not sure I can do it. Just do it. What's going to happen? You are so scared of what's going to happen, of the aftermath. Just do it.
Just do it.
And say, you know what? I think that is really hard, but I'm gonna do it. And
at least they tried.
Start right there. And when you start right there, that's a huge thing, because you've already broken that fear.
That thing, yeah.
The fear that is separating you from being great. Reach out to your opportunities. Grab whatever. That is a risk, yes. And through through the pathways, you're going to see it that it was worth taking a risk for. And if it didn't work out, at least it showed you some type of lessons to take. At least it showed you that you are capable of taking a risk. You are capable of doing something bigger than yourself. Something that is someone who does not even believe in you. Because we go into and we create our own comfort zones, and we sit there. And you're just, I'm okay, I'm not gonna try that. I'm okay. And that's fine by you, that if that's what you wanna do. But don't complain that your life is miserable if you're sitting in your own comfort zone and you're not doing anything to change that. Then if you want your life to be like that, then let it be like that. Don't complain.
Wow.
Because you have the capability of changing your life into something greater than anyone has ever imagined. But it actually starts with you. What is the perspective of your, how do you see life? How do you see life? How do you say, I want to be this? There are millions and millions of people out there waiting to help, giving a helping hand, this and that. There are opportunities. You just wake up and say, you know what, do it. And just, life changes.
Wow, that's so great. So Isimbi, thank you for actually sharing your heart with us, and I hope that someone out there who is seeking help but who doesn't know how to break those generational curses and hobbies, I hope that you heard something from Isimbi, and that it's gonna start with you. If you need help, then ask for help, and there's nothing bad that is gonna happen. Okay, so Isimbi, let's go back to you again. So who is Isimbi behind after a job? What do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Thank you. I'm very adventurous. I think I really like hiking and just going into the nature. I don't know. And another hobby, I think I like dancing. I'm not sure I'm a good dancer, but I love dancing.
Well, are you gonna demonstrate for us?
Oh no! No, maybe for another time, but yeah.
Okay. So what was your most favorite place that you visited on your adventure?
My adventures. Wow. I just recently went back to Uganda after 9 years of not going back. And I think Uganda has always been my favorite place. There's nothing that could top that. It's just the people, the vibe, the food. I actually gained a whole lot of weight. You should see me before and after. It's amazing. So that is my favorite place.
Okay, so what can you say something, what can you say to some of your Ugandan family? If anybody's gonna watch from Uganda, what can you say to those people?
Like in English, Uganda.
In Uganda. Yes.
Baagala nnyo mwebale nnyo okubeera nange bannange buli lunaku mbalowoozaako era ngenda kudda ate wenkomawo bigenda kusukka nga luli.
Okay, I didn't hear any word, but yeah. So, Simbi, do you have any final say?
My final thought is reach out. Reach out to people. People are willing to give you an ear. I'm willing to give you an ear. You can never know just by talking to someone. Your life kind of changes. You see perspectives. Just reach out. People are really not as monster as they look. So just reach out to your friends, and you're never alone in this life. You're never alone. At least if you ever feel like that, I'm always going to be with you. And I'm just gonna give myself out there. If you ever need me for anywhere, Oscar knows how to reach me. Just reach out.
Yes.
And I can guarantee you, we will run through life together.
Wow, that's good. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We hope to see you next time. Remember to like, comment, and share with your friends. Bye. See you next time.
I'm not sure I'm a good dancer, but I love it.
Well, how are you gonna demonstrate for us?
Oh no! No.